Imagine retiring at 35, sipping margaritas in Bali, your laptop forever closed. FIRE believers call it freedom. But what if everything they told you about the 4% rule, the golden rule of early retirement, was just a beautiful lie? Today, we're breaking down how lifestyle creep could ruin your dreams of financial independence faster than a Tesla stock dip. So grab your coffee, pause that Roth IRA transfer, and let's talk about why your calculator might be gaslighting you. But before we start, if you're into money talk that feels more Netflix special than night school seminar, smash that subscribe with the bell button. It's free, fun, and might just keep your wallet from ghosting you in 2025. Now let's begin. Part 1. The origin of the 4% rule. First things first, where did this magical 4% number even come from? It all started with a financial planner named William Bengen in 1994. He crunched a lot of retirement data, we're talking spreadsheets so big they'd crash your Chromebook, and figured that if you withdrew 4% of your portfolio in your first year of retirement and adjusted for inflation every year after, your money would probably last 30 years. This became the basis for the 4% rule, the holy scripture of the FIRE, Financial Independence Retire Early movement. Sounds solid, right? Well, let's just say that what worked in 1994 might not survive the roller coaster that is 2025. And hey, if this made you laugh or cry into your retirement plan, do us a favor. Smash that like button like it's your snooze alarm on Monday morning. Part 2. Inflation is the silent killer. Inflation is like that friend who never pays you back. Slow, sneaky, and somehow always around. According to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, the average inflation rate from 1994 to 2020 was around 2.2%. That's manageable. But between 2021 and 2023, we saw inflation spike up to 9.1% at its peak in June 2022. Even now in 2025, we're still hovering above the pre-pandemic norm. Let's do the math. If you retire with $1 million and follow the 4% rule, that gives you $40,000 a year. But if prices rise 8% a year, that $40,000 suddenly feels like Monopoly money by year 5. For example, year 1, $40,000 equals comfortable. Year 5, $40,000 equals ramen noodles and roommates. Solution? Some experts, like retirement researcher Wade Pfau, suggest a more conservative 3.3% rule for modern retirees. Others recommend building an extra margin with inflation-protected assets like TIPS, Treasury inflation-protected securities. Part 3. Taxes don't retire. Guess who doesn't care that you're financially independent? The IRS. The 4% rule assumes you're withdrawing from a portfolio of tax-advantaged and taxable accounts. But in real life, taxes can take a decent chunk of your withdrawals, especially if you're pulling from traditional IRAs or 401ks. According to the Tax Foundation, the average effective tax rate for middle-income Americans is around 12 to 22%. Add state taxes, and your 4% might shrink to 3% or less. For example, $1 million portfolio, 4% withdrawal equal $40,000. Now subtract 20% tax, $32,000 in spending money. That's an $8,000 difference. Enough to fund your annual avocado toast habit or a few plane tickets to find yourself in Thailand. Solution: use tax-efficient withdrawal strategies. 1. Prioritize Roth IRAs, tax-free withdrawals. 2. Use the bucket strategy. Draw from taxable accounts first. 3. Stay under certain income thresholds to avoid jumping tax brackets. Also, working part-time in early retirement? That income gets taxed too. Uncle Sam doesn't skip a beat. Part 4. Lifestyle creep. You think you'll live on $40,000 a year forever? Okay, minimalist. But here's what often happens. You start with frugality. You bike everywhere, eat lentils, and DIY your deodorant. But after a few years of early retirement, you get bored, so you start spending more. A better laptop, a trip to Europe, not on Spirit Airlines this time. A Tesla, because hey, sustainable transport, right? This is lifestyle creep, and it's very real. According to a 2023 survey by Empower Retirement, 60% of retirees spend more in the first 10 years of retirement than they originally planned. FIRE retirees are no exception, especially because they retire younger and live longer. Solution: build flexibility into your plan. Start with a core budget and add discretionary expenses only when your investments overperform. Use dynamic withdrawal strategies. For example, the Gaitan-Klinger rules allow you to adjust your spending based on portfolio performance. And seriously, track your spending like it's your job, because in retirement, it kind of is. Part 5. Sequence of returns risk. Here's one most FIRE fans don't fully appreciate: sequence of returns risk. This happens when your portfolio takes a hit early in retirement and you're still withdrawing from it, making it hard to recover. Imagine retiring in January 2022, right before the S&P 500 dropped nearly 20% that year. If you're still withdrawing 4% as your portfolio tanks, you could run out of money way sooner than expected. Example: year 1 loss, negative 20%, withdrawal, $40,000. Portfolio recovery needed, massive. Solution: keep 2 to 3 years of cash or stable assets on hand so you don't sell stocks in a downturn. Consider working part-time or having a flexible retirement where you pause withdrawals if the market dips hard. Use guardrails. Reduce withdrawals during down years. Part 6. The FIRE movement is growing up. Here's the truth. The 4% rule isn't dead. It's just misunderstood. FIRE used to be about extreme frugality. Now it's evolving with terms like Coast FIRE, where you stop contributing but still work. Barista FIRE, working part-time to cover essentials. Fat FIRE, where you live it up, not down. And that's good, because the new FIRE crowd is starting to realize that retirement isn't an on-off switch, it's a dimmer. As Morningstar put it in their 2022 retirement report, most investors would benefit from flexibility, not rigid withdrawal rules, especially in unpredictable environments. With all that said, was the 4% rule a lie? Not exactly, but it's not gospel either. It was a solid starting point for a different time, a different economy, and a different lifestyle. Today's world has higher inflation, more volatile markets, and TikTok convincing you to buy a $600 suitcase with built-in Wi-Fi. You need a plan that flexes with reality. So if you're dreaming of FIRE, don't just aim for 4% withdrawals. Aim for flexibility, tax-smart strategies, realistic spending plans, backup income options, and a little humility, because no spreadsheet can predict the future. Your financial freedom isn't about one number. It's about being ready for anything. So what do you think about the 4% rules? Feel free to comment below and let us know.
Thank you so much for watching. If you want to learn more, feel free to check out our next video.